Hi, I'm Jesse Ortiz of the Bobby Jones Golf Company, and I'm here to announce the first major design change in our driver line in almost 5 years. Those of you who've followed my career in the golf business know that I won't come out with a new model unless the new one is significantly better. I've got to be able to make a huge improvement over the current line before I come out with anything new. And I'm pleased to say that these drivers are by far the best hitting, longest, most forgiving drivers I've ever made. And that's saying a lot. This driver line is all titanium. The last time I came out with a driver line that was all titanium was back in 2002. At that point, I created the Orlemar Hip Tie 420, which Golf Digest of Japan ranked as the #2 driver in the world. Not Callaway, not TaylorMade, not Titleist, not Cobra, not Adams, but the Orlemar Hip Tie 420. The only driver that beat me out was an exotic Japanese model that cost over $1,500. No other American driver made it into the top 16 in the rankings. Why did I go back to all titanium? Because I wanted to make a more rigid head. I knew that that driver that I made 10 years ago was the longest driver in the world. And it was the way that I created the shape and the way it was brazed and welded together that made a more rigid body. Over the last few years, I've come out with drivers that were more forgiving. I was more concerned with forgiveness rather than distance. That's why I used carbon graphite in different parts of the body so that I could move the weight around in the head and make the club a little bit more stable. But it was sacrificing some distance. So I've gone back to all titanium and I've used a cup face design. The cup face design is what we do with the cup face design is we create a face that actually curls up about 1/2 inch on the crown, curls around the side skirts and down at the bottom of the sole plate by about 1/2 inch. That cup face design is then thinned out around the edges and it creates a lot more trampolining effect. It actually creates a hotter driver even though it remains conforming. By getting a hotter face and welding it and brazing it to the rest of the body, I've created a more rigid, solid club. The rigidness gives you more power. When I got into the carbon graphite in different sections of the club head, there would be some flex in the head. Yes, it was a more forgiving driver, but you lost the pop or the power. This club has the pop and power unlike any other driver on the market. Don't believe me, you've got nothing to lose but trying it yourself. I put a little bit less bulge and roll on the face too. Before, I had to put more curvature on the face to compress the ball to make up for the flex in the head. Now I've made the face a little flatter because I've got plenty of ball compression with the cup face design. Now what happens is with a little bit flatter face, the off-center hits actually go a little bit straighter. What's the downside? Well, the downside of the new driver is that it's got a higher pitch sound at impact and it's significantly louder than the previous Bobby Jones drivers that had the carbon graphite in it. But believe me, once you hit a few shots with this driver and you're 10 to 15 yards longer than you've ever been, that sound is going to be the sound of beauty. And the only sound you're going to be hearing is the squawking from your partners that you're blowing the ball past them. Believe me, this driver is hot. I've been using it for the last 3 months, and it is, for me, about 15 yards longer. I don't make claims if they're not true. Believe me, this club is going to give you 10 to 15 more yards. It's a gorgeous pear shape, not quite as triangular as I used to have it with the old Bobby Jones designs. It's a little bit rounder. So again, it increases the MOI. It's got a beautiful black PDF finish on the face and on the sole, and it's got that Lexus pearl color on the crown with a little bit of decaling to help you line up the ball. It comes in standard graphite design shafts. The standard shaft is a 50-gram graphite design G series. This shaft, if you buy it at Golfsmith or at Golfworks, they'll charge you about $180 just for the shaft. That's the standard shaft. We also make it in Graphite Design's 40-gram shaft, which keeps our super light series going. So the clubs are available in either standard 50-gram shafts from Graphite Design or in the super light. The standard ones come 45 inches. The super lights are 47 inches. But you can order them in any length that you want. I'm just giving you what the standard lengths are. The other key feature about the driver is that they're adjustable. Square face, 1 degree closed, 2 degrees closed. Most of the Olas, which is the 12.5 degree model, will come 1 or 2 degrees closed. The 10.5 driver will be either square or 1 degree closed. Square for stiff, 1 degree closed for regulars. And the 9 degree drivers, those will be square in the stiff and 1 or 2 degrees closed in the regular or the senior flex. Okay? You can get any custom specs that you want, but those are the standard specs. Please feel free to call us directly here at the shop for any technical questions you may have about this driver. Believe me, you've got nothing to lose buying this driver. No other manufacturer will give you your money back after buying the driver if you're not satisfied with it. I know you'll be satisfied because this is, without a doubt, the best driver I've ever made, and that's saying a lot. Thanks very much for listening. Play well, play often, and always have fun.